Evening, folks. Right, so before we get into tonight's podcast, we do have a sponsor for tonight's pod. So just bear with me for a couple of seconds with this one. But this one does actually make a lot of sense when it comes to football fans. If you've gone to a lot of away days outside the country, if you're coming to the game in Dublin this summer, should it go ahead, or if you're traveling away to the World Cup this summer, or even going on your holidays, this is where today's sponsor comes in very, very handy. You will know the absolute nightmare it is of roaming charges when you're away, or bill shock when you get back home, or even just trying to find out if your SIM card is working when you get somewhere and having to queue up at an airport SIM shop. But that is an absolute nightmare. So that's where Saily, the eSIM app, comes in. And this has been made by the people that bring you NordVPN. So that tells you the level and pedigree that it is at. So basically, it lets you pick your data plan and over 200 destinations before you even leave your house. You download the app, you choose your plan, and it activates automatically when you land. There's no queuing, no dodgy airport kiosks, and no bill shock when you get home. So nice and handy while you're at it. The plan is genuinely affordable. It has a global as well as a regional option that you can pick up on your trips. And then you even get a Saily Ultra tier if you are someone who travels an awful lot. My wife is constantly in the US with her job, and this is an absolute godsend for her. I've traveled a huge amount to the US, and I've had issues even when my SIM cards didn't always work perfectly, and the fear of having to use your SIM card while you're away and the charges you're likely to get. So you find yourself jumping between Wi-Fi hotspots to try and use your WhatsApp. But this is an absolute game changer when you get to that. So if you are away on holidays this summer, if you are going to the World Cup, this comes in massively handy. You can download the Saily app from your store, or if you're watching on YouTube, just scan the QR code that's on screen right now. Use the code Leeds View in your checkout and you will get 15% off your first purchase. The link is in the description too, and I'll stick it as a pinned comment as well. Right, let's get stuck into tonight's podcast. Right, getting to the end of the predictions, and next up it's Ollie Ward. Ollie's details for his channel as well as his social media accounts are all down below alongside everybody else's. Ollie, how are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm dipping into the more positive end of the YouTube space now. Yourself and Joe Blackburn, who tend to be the more kind of upbeat about things.
Yeah.
But where's them? How are you feeling about Leeds right now?
It's tough. It is tough because I just know Leeds and I've watched Leeds and things that I still think overall from our season, I don't think we should be where we are now. I think it's actually been quite a fun, first season back in the Premier
Yeah.
League. And when I look at points, I'm like, we're actually really not that far away from the relegation zone at all. Don't really know how we got in this situation. But like you said, I try and remain positive. But when we're talking about these fixtures, I don't know how positive I'm going to be. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. But, if we were just mid-table right now, it would be, yeah, we're safe, but a little bit boring. In typical Leeds fashion, we're doing it the hard way. And it's going to be, I think it could go down to that final day. I don't know. But I don't want to think about that right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what your logic dictates at the end, because this has been a fantastic experiment from another perspective. I think a lot of people have gone with Leeds of what they think Leeds need to get, while if you look at the rest of the teams, they've gone what they think they'll actually get. So there's a kind of a. It's been very interesting to see the results of this so far. But yeah, what we'll do is we will throw the fixtures up on the screen at Rob Earnshaw's predictions, because this is on the back of his predictions. The second person from the Orta Know Better podcast who's joining us to go through their predictions for the run is Smarty from, again, Orta Know Better. You can check Smarty's details all down below in the description, along with everybody else's. Smarty, how are you doing, mate? And where's your nerve to heart ratio right now on Leeds?
I'm relatively calm. I think I'm one of the calmest people amongst my fellow podcasters down at Orta Know Better. There are some heightened emotions. A couple of them do get rather emotional. But for myself, no, I'm still relatively calm. I'm relatively quite confident still. Even though we wavered slightly with the results, some of them not really going the way that I would have expected them to go. I think a few people are getting a little bit dicey over the Brentford result, but I'm still relatively confident we'll do okay.
Yeah, everyone seems to be, which is unusual. I keep describing Leeds as the... Yeah, we feel like we're the adult in the classroom at the moment. With what's going on down the bottom of the Premier League, which is not Leedsy at all, which is uncomfortable in its own sense.
Very much so.
And it doesn't fill me with any more confidence. It's just like, this is unusually calm. When's the grenade going off?
Well, that's the thing. I think if you delve into the socials, if you dare cross the X sphere or the Twitter sphere, you will probably come up thinking maybe slightly differently. It's a very, very doom and gloom on there. So I tend to completely avoid it nowadays, if I'm honest, and stick to my social groups. Yourself included.
Yeah, but I do the same thing now. I kind of keep myself as much as I can now. But yeah, you've done this a bit different. Most people have popped on and haven't done any homework on this. You've done your homework on this.
Ooh,
So
I won't go that far.
I'm gonna question you slightly differently on this. Before you start doing your homework, what did your gut tell you about who goes down that final spot? Again, we're assuming Wolves and Burnley are gone, but who?
Yeah, I think for everyone, it's relatively unanimous in saying that Burnley and Wolves are gone. Even though Wolves have had a little bit of an upturn of form, they do look like they could cause a few issues along the way. I've always said that West Ham will have and do have the cojones to drag themselves out of this race. So it's always been, I won't say always, over the last weeks and months. For me, it's always been between Spurs and Forest, obviously taking ourselves out of that because I believe that we will stay up as well, obviously. So yeah, Spurs are looking pretty shambolic at the minute. Forest are relatively inconsistent, but they do tend to come up with a result every now and again. But Spurs are looking terrible, aren't they? West Ham, obviously, it's up to them. But I think they've got the minerals to get themselves out of it. So it's going to be close. There's a lot of football still to play.
There is 7 games, a lot of points still up for grabs as well, and sides playing each other down there as well, and some of the sides that still have things to play for in that mix. So it does complicate it a little bit. All right, then, Smarty, what we'll do is we'll put the fixtures up on. Joe Blackburn is next up in the hot seat to give us his take on what the final table will look like for the predictions. For those who don't know, Joe helps me out on a weekly basis over on our live streams over on bigup.com as a regular contributor on that end of our channel. If you want to check out Joe himself, his details are down below in the description along with everybody else, and his Twitter handle is over there somewhere. There you go. Joe, how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing all right, thank you very much.
What's your thoughts then on Leeds heading into the back end of the season, to the final sprint? No more breaks between now and the end of the season. Does your gut tell you Leeds stay up?
I genuinely think we will be completely fine. I think there's been a lot of sort of everyone embedding what they're saying in a lot of sort of, well, it's your if, but maybe, and all that kind of stuff. But I genuinely, well, yeah, well, no, it's sort of the opposite of that. I think people having genuine confidence and they're having to case it in, yeah, but what if it goes bad? And I'm just not leaning into the what if it goes bad, because I think if you have a look at the way that we've been defending, at the very least, we've been rock solid for a long time. And it's just the other end of the pitch where it's not sorted itself out and Noah Okafor's coming back. So
then where does your gut sit? Before we get into the logic test, where does your gut sit over who finishes off in that final spot? And again, I'm just saying, I'm assuming Wolves and Burnley are gone because of a lot of work still to do. But who do you think drops into that final spot between Leeds, Forest, Spurs, and West Ham United?
In the funniest example of overspending on infrastructure in human history, it's Spurs. A 60,000 seat state-of-the-art stadium hosting Luton. Delicious.
Plymouth. To get there, yeah.
Cheeky bit of Charlton in there as well. Maybe Derby.
I think it'll be, they're all saying it's the biggest relegation in history. It's like, no, it'll be on par with Leeds going down. On par when Leeds went down 20 years ago. Yeah, it'll be in around that. All right, then. Let's see if the logic holds up, Joe. And we'll go game by game. Give me win, lose, or draw. And then at the end of it, we'll come back and we'll tot it all up and we'll give what your logic says. What's your gut prediction? Who goes down that final spot with Burnley and Wolves, assuming they go down?
For me, I genuinely think it will be between West Ham and Leeds. That's where I'm at right now. I don't know why. That's just something that's come into my head without doing all the predictions. That's just what I can see. I mean, but again, Forest and Tottenham aren't brilliant. Out of all of them right now, Tottenham obviously are not great. They're not great at all. But I don't know why. I think it's that sort of history bias with Tottenham that you think, of course they can't go down, but you never know. But when you asked me that question, first thing that came to my head was either West Ham or Leeds. If I had to put money on it, let's go West Ham.
Yeah, that's the gut. Now you have the advantage of obviously knowing what's going on with Spurs over the weekend because the rest of them were done prior to Igor Tudor losing his job, and Roberto De Zerbi will be going in. Whether that's good or not is a bigger conversation. But you've got that little bit of knowledge in the back of your head. Now, most people have talked about the fact that they thought a change would happen regardless anyway. So that's still out there in the ether. Right then, so you're saying West Ham are Leeds. You're the first person to say Leeds, which is interesting.
Oh no, I'm supposed to be the positive one, aren't I?
I mean, even Joe Blackburn did, and then West Ham have come up quite a lot, but that's okay. So you're in good company there. All right, let's start off then. Let's go. First round of games after the FA Cup. Leeds away to Manchester United. Win, lose, or draw?
Loss.
Yes. Nottingham Forest at home to Aston Villa.
I'm going to say a draw.
Spurs away to Sunderland.
See, Spurs is tough now, isn't it? I'm going to say a draw.
And West Ham at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
I'm going to say a win.
For West Ham.
For West Ham, yeah.
Get there eventually, yeah. Okay, then Leeds play Wolverhampton Wanderers. Probably, again, we've been saying this repeatedly, one of the biggest games of the season at this point. So Leeds at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh, see, I don't think this is going to be easy sailing like a lot of Leeds fans and Daniel Farker seems like it's going to be. Do I say a draw or a win? Do I say a draw or a win? You know what? I will go for a win. I will go for a win, but only like 2-1.
Everyone thinks we have to win it. I don't know if anybody's actually saying what they think will happen. So it is an interesting one because I don't think it's necessarily
I definitely think we could, drop points in that game.
Okay, Nottingham Forest at home to Burnley, another relegation tie.
I think Forest win that, yeah.
So 3 points for Forest. Okay. Then you've got Spurs at home to Brighton and Hove Albion.
I think that will be a draw again to Zerbi if he does go in there against his old club.
He'll go for it anyway, if nothing else. Then you've got West Ham United away to Crystal Palace, London derby.
Ooh, I'm going to go for a draw in that game as well. Plenty of draws.
Okay. Leeds United away to draw specialists Bournemouth. Well, two draw specialist sides.
That's where I'm going to go a draw as well. And I think we'll be lucky to get a draw in that game. That's where I'm predicting.
Yeah, I think it's got a draw written all over it as well. Yeah, I haven't done mine yet, but I'll get to them eventually. Nottingham Forest away to Sunderland.
Away to Sunderland. I'm going to say draw. God, I'm sorry. This is getting really boring, isn't it? All I'm saying is draw. But
you've taken the Jamie Redknapp mantra of sitting on the fence here.
Very fence sitting. I'm just going to say a massive one in a minute. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Spurs away to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
I mean, it's not massive, but I think that'll be a win for Spurs.
And then you got West Ham at home to Everton, who are European chasing Everton.
I'm going to say a draw. I think Everton are better. I'll go with draw.
Yeah, stay with your gut. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Leeds at home to Burnley, another massive one.
I am more confident with the Burnley game than I am the Wolves, so I'm going to say a Leeds win.
Okay.
That could come back to bite me.
But it's Scott Parker, and Parker's record against Parker is
it's not great at all, is it?
Parker in his Parker against Parker. Yeah, it's not great. Nottingham Forest away to Chelsea.
I'm going to say, a loss, but Chelsea win. So Nottingham Forest loss.
Okay. Tottenham Hotspur away to Aston Villa.
I'm not blown away by Villa, really. I'll go draw.
They do have Tielemans and McGinn back, which seems to make a bit of a difference.
Yeah, true.
And West Ham United away to Brentford, who won't be an easy game at all.
Ooh, I'm going to say a loss there.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I agree with you because Keith Andrews can, as Jerry called him, curly-headed. And Leeds United away to Spurs. This could be huge.
Yeah, it could be, and it really does obviously depend on that form that Tottenham turn it around. A current Spurs side, I'd probably back Leeds, but I think maybe I'm gonna go draw. Fence it in, Wardy. He's back.
You're not confident at all. Nottingham Forest at home to Newcastle United.
I'm going to go for a Forest win.
So Newcastle to 3 points against Newcastle. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've already said draw for Leeds and Spurs. So that remains the same with Spurs then. And then West Ham United home to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think that would be a loss. But I think they'll put up a good fight. That's what I'm going to say. It will be a loss.
Leeds' final home game of the season to Brighton.
Draw. 2-2. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
Nottingham Forest away to Manchester United.
Again, I think Man United they're very good. I'm going to say a loss. Yeah, for Forest.
Tottenham Hotspur away to Chelsea.
Oh, that is tough. I'm gonna go. They're always really good games as well, aren't they? Chelsea are really odd. I think I'm
Their
gonna go with. I will go over Tottenham loss, a Chelsea win. Yeah,
And then West Ham United away at Newcastle, all the way up north.
I'm gonna go a draw in that game.
Okay.
Last on match of the day, I can say it.
Yeah. The final day of the season, and Leeds are the only away side in these four. Leeds travel down to London to play West Ham.
I mean, I
disappointed.
really hope it doesn't go down to this game, and I don't know what my predictions are, so I hope it doesn't. But I'm going to say I lost you.
You're not the only one. I think if it goes to the final day of the season, I would worry about that one as well.
Mm.
Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't. I'm hoping we get it done before Spurs.
Mm.
Okay. Nottingham Forest at home to Bournemouth.
I'm gonna say draw.
Spurs at home to Everton.
Mm.
This is taking a mental toll on you. I can see it.
It really, yeah, I'm really stressed. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a loss for Spurs.
Loss for Spurs, so 0
Yeah.
points.
And Everton
And
get Europe
then
because
you've
of
already,
that.
and West Ham will get 3 points against Leeds. Right, we're going to pause it there and we'll tot it up and we'll see how we go on the screen. And we'll go round by round, win, lose, or draw, and we'll see where we get at the end. So we'll start off with Leeds' first game after the international break back at the Premier League, and it's away to Manchester United. Win, lose, or draw.
I've got us down for a loss there. They're a bit of a bogey team of ours, aren't they? I think between them and Arsenal, they're our biggest bogey team. Actually, Aston Villa as well are right up there. So I'm led to believe. But yeah, I hate these people. I won't give them the proper name because they don't deserve it. Yeah, a loss, unfortunately.
A loss. Okay, Nottingham Forest will have Aston Villa at home.
I have gone for a loss versus Villa.
0 points.
0.
Okay. Spurs away to Sunderland.
A loss versus Sunderland.
And West Ham United at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
I've got them for a win versus Wolves.
Then we go to Leeds playing Wolves at home. Big game.
That is a big game. Very important. We get going. So a win versus Wolves at home for us.
Okay. Then we got Forest at home to Burnley.
Who I believe will win. I
Forest
believe
will
they'll
win
beat
that one.
Burnley. Yeah.
3 points for that one. Okay. Spurs will be home to Brighton.
Relatively, a little bit closer to home for them. I think they're going to draw versus Brighton.
And then West Ham United will be away to Crystal Palace in the London Derby.
I've gone for a draw. Be an interesting one to watch, that one, I think.
Yeah, it will be. I think the Burnley and Forest one will be interesting because of the relegation stuff that's there. So 6 pointers. Okay. Then Leeds United will go away to draw specialists Bournemouth.
And indeed, draw specialists they shall be. I think a draw is on the cards for that one for us.
Yeah, between the two of us, enough draws to fill a bath. Yeah. Okay. Then you got Nottingham Forest going away to Sunderland.
I think they'll lose versus Sunderland. They're very, very good team at home, Sunderland.
And then Tottenham Hotspur will be away to also relegation rivals Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves are going to have a say in this.
I think they will. And do you know what? I think they may come up trumps. I think they're going to lose. I think Spurs will lose versus Wolves.
And then West Ham United will be home. Sorry, not West Ham United. Yeah, West Ham United will be home to Everton.
Yeah.
Sorry, West Ham United home to Everton.
Loss versus Everton.
Everton probably back in Europe this season, I think.
Yeah, they're doing well, aren't
Leeds United. Yeah, they are. Leeds will be at home then. Again, another massive game under the lights now at Elland Road. Leeds at home to Burnley.
Burnley, I believe, will come up stinking in this one. I think we're going to thrash them. I think we'll thrash Burnley at home. I think it's a late kickoff as well, this one. They've moved it to the Friday night as well. So that bodes well for us. We like to perform under the lights, etc. So yeah, I think we're gonna give it to Burnley. I think nice 3-pointer.
Crossed. Yeah, Farke versus Parker. Let's hope he can flip that one eventually. Nottingham Forest then will be away to Chelsea.
Draw at Chelsea.
And Spurs will then be away to Aston Villa.
To whom they will lose against, I firmly believe. I think Villa, they've had a bit of a shaky start. A shaky couple of weeks or whatever, but they're still chasing obviously a top finish as well, aren't they? So yeah, difficult fixture for them. It's a loss.
Okay. And then West Ham against Brentford away.
That's a draw.
Leeds United then away to Spurs. Desperate home record. We don't have a great record against Spurs though, and Dara believes this is Leeds' redemption arc to do to them what they did to us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we will we'll go for the killer blow on this one. I think a good win and really, really put the cat amongst the pigeons for their home camp as well. Real soul destroyer for them. Yeah, a win versus Spurs.
Okay. And then Nottingham Forest will be home to Newcastle United.
I've gone for a draw.
All right, and you predicted Spurs to lose to Leeds. That's that one done. And then West Ham United in a London game against Arsenal at home.
Yeah, that's a loss. I Like if you were to put your mortgage on one game out of all of this lot, you'd put it on that one, wouldn't you? I think, but you never know.
I wouldn't give Mikel Arteta my money. No.
No.
Leeds United then home to Brighton Hove Albion, last home game of the season.
See, I would like this to be a win, but I just don't think it will be. So I've gone for a draw.
Then we've got Nottingham Forest away at Manchester United, Champions League chasing Manchester United.
Yeah, loss versus the scum. Yeah.
Spurs then against Chelsea away from home against LinkedIn.
I've got them for a draw at Chelsea. I think because it's a derby, because it's a local derby, I think they might, especially after the result against us, I think they might try and do something, really late stage of the season, etc. But versus Chelsea is probably a really good opportunity for maybe to cause a bit of an upset. But I think they'll be relatively down and out by then. But we'll see. But draw versus Chelsea.
Okay, I think it's that. Yeah, they're away from home. They go more home game after that. West Ham United then will be away to Newcastle United.
And that's a draw for the Wolves. For West Ham.
Draw. Okay. Final game of this final round of the season. Leeds the only side away from home on the final day, and Leeds will travel to relegation rivals West Ham United.
Funny one, this one. I've gone for a loss versus West Ham because I just think hopefully it'll be done and dusted for us by then. We may take our foot off the pedal, and I think usually when we need to put in a performance, it's usually achievable. West Ham are going to be really, really pushing to get as many points as possible. We're going into their backyard as well with everything on the line. I think they're going to make it really difficult for us, and that stadium's just horrible. It could go either way, but I've got us down for a loss, unfortunately.
Okay. Nottingham Forest will be home to Bournemouth.
That's a win versus Bournemouth.
And then Spurs at home to Everton.
I've got them to draw.
We've obviously got Leeds to lose to West Ham, so 3 points for them. Okay, we'll pause it there and we'll just add up and see what we got. We'll get the fixtures up on the TV screen and we'll get stuck into this. Right, so coming straight after the FA Cup match, Leeds will be away to Manchester United. Win, lose, or draw?
I think we get a point against Man United.
Nottingham Forest will be home to Aston Villa.
I fancy Villa in that one.
Fancy Villa, so 0 points for Forest. Spurs will be away to Sunderland.
Spurs will lose to Sunderland.
That one. And West Ham United will be home to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
I back West Ham to win that one. Even if Wolves are on a little bit of form, I don't think it's enough.
Then we have them next, but we're at home. Hugely important home game for Leeds. Leeds against Wolves.
I think losing to West Ham is going to make them sad and we'll beat them.
It's for Leeds. Okay. Nottingham Forest will be home to Burnley. Another relegation rival.
And I think Scott Parker is going to lose that one spectacularly.
Spurs. Tottenham Spurston at home to Brighton.
Tottenham Spursden will lose to Brighterland. I think
0 points. Okay. And then West Ham United away to Crystal Palace.
I want to give West Ham a point there.
Okay. Single point. I don't give many points. Leeds United away to draw specialist Bournemouth, although 2 sets of draw specialists going head to head.
If you got 2 sets of draw specialists, you got to go for the draw, I think.
Nottingham Forest will be away to Sunderland then.
Did we call them Sunderland last time, or was it Sundringham or something weird like that? Let's go for a win for Sunderland, so a loss for Forest.
0 points for Forest. Okay. Spurs then facing off against Wolves, who are definitely going to have a say in this relegation battle, but Spurs away to Wolves.
Do I want to be that mean to Spurs? I want to be that mean, but I don't know if I'll be true to myself. Draw.
All right then. And then you've got West Ham United at home to Everton.
I think they lose that one.
Okay, Leeds' next big home game at home to Burnley.
I think we beat Burnley. I think by that point they've accepted that they're down and they won't really have enough.
Nottingham Forest away to Chelsea.
I think Chelsea win that. So Forest lose.
Tottenham Hotspur away to Aston Villa.
Villa will win that, I feel, so Spurs lose.
Okay. And then West Ham United will be travelling to play at the Brentford Community Stadium.
I feel that feels like it's got a 2-2 written all over it. It's got one of those end-to-end scrappy little things there, so I'll call that a draw.
Okay. So a point to the G-Tech. Okay. And then Leeds will be away to Tottenham Hotspur. Rotten away, a home record for them. Leeds draws on the road. What do you think?
I think that will be a very, very, very nice win for us. I think it's going to be We'll send Archie Gray home crying, and that might make me sad, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah, Archie can dial it in and do a Erling Haaland on it, not turn up, feel ill that day. Nottingham Forest at home to Newcastle United.
I think Newcastle win that.
Spurs will be, you've already called this, so you said Leeds will
I've
win,
got-
so 0 for Spurs. And then West Ham United at home to Arsenal.
Arsenal win. That's not really it. Yeah, Arsenal just do that. It's going to be one of their boring, grindy set-piece messes.
Okay, then. Final home game of the season for Leeds at Brighton. At Elland Road against Brighton.
I'm going to call that a draw.
Okay, Nottingham Forest will travel to Old Trafford to play Manchester United.
I hate to say it, but on the current form, that's a Man United win.
Tottenham Hotspur versus LinkedIn Liam's Chelsea. Away from home.
I think LinkedIn Liam's got a point in him there. I don't like it, but
Single point.
Yeah.
Okay, and then West Ham United away at Newcastle.
I'm going to call that a draw.
Final day of the season. Leeds the only side away from home in these four, but Leeds will travel down to London again to play West Ham United.
And I think we will play that to a bore draw. One of the worst games of football you've ever seen.
Great. Hopefully both teams will agree on that, and they've both got nothing to play for. We'll see. Nottingham Forest then, home to Bournemouth.
That feels like a Bournemouth win. I think Forest lose that.
Spurs at home to Everton.
Spurs at home, Everton potentially going for Europe. I think Everton win.
Spurs. Okay, that's that done. We'll just tot it up then. We'll come back in a sec. Okay, Matt's has been totted up. I think it's right. If I'm wrong, someone will correct me in the chat. Fingers crossed I've not been wrong on these, but this is probably the tightest of all of the predictions so far. Ollie, you said your gut was West Ham or Leeds. Yeah, your logic says you're wrong, mate. Your logic has contradicted, not the only one, but it's contradicted your gut feeling. So you reckon Leeds will pick up an additional 9 points between now and the end of the season, which I think is the lowest amount that anyone's predicted, which goes with your gut instinct at the start. You've also got Forest picking up 9 points between now and the end of the season. You've got Spurs picking up 7 points between now and the end of the season, and West Ham picking up 9 points between now and the end of the season. 2 wins and 3 draws, right?
Ooh.
So what that means is Leeds will be safe, but it won't be as comfortable as some have predicted. You have Leeds safe on 42 points. Behind Leeds, you have Nottingham Forest on 41 points, just a point between them. Then you've got West Ham United with 38 points and relegated 1 point less, Spurs on 37 points. So you've got 1 point between the bottom two and then 1 point between us and the next side.
I don't think that. I'm very surprised, but I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's. I think it's more realistic the tighter it will be. I don't see Leeds going right away from this relegation zone. I did say that thing at the start about Spurs being this big side, they can't go down, but they haven't performed well this season. And right now, watching them, they are the worst out of the 4 teams, I think, when I watch all teams. I think Forest, us, and West Ham do have a bit of fight about us. Tottenham just look like they're ready to go. But like we say, De Zerbi could turn things around. They could win their last however many games. But I'm not mad about that. I hope it's correct. As long as Leeds stay up, I don't care how many points are in it. I don't know what. I don't care who goes down, really. I just want Leeds to stay up. But by my predictions, Jer, we're safe. So don't you worry.
Right, you totted it up. This one's interesting. This one has turned out really, really interesting. So you have pretty much similar to everybody else said that Leeds United will pick up 11 points between now and the end of the season. I'm still on the fence and thinking that people are voting what they think Leeds need to get rather than what they think Leeds will actually get. But everyone's gone along the same route. So that's Leeds at 11 points. Forest, you reckon, will pick up an additional 8 points between now and the end. Spurs, just 3 points between now and the end. And West Ham United, 9 points between now and the end, which means Leeds United will finish, again, very similar to everybody else's predictions, with 44 points and very safe from relegation. Then followed by Nottingham Forest, safe on 40 points. Then West Ham United safe on 38 points. And you have Spurs to go down that final spot on 33 points. Now, at the start of this, you said your gut was Forest or Spurs. Forest, you've got, funnily enough, pretty clear, 7 points clear of relegation by the last day of the year. Spurs on 33 points, that's going to be a mega story, isn't it?
It'll certainly hurt a little bit more if Arsenal manage to win the league as well. It's going to be a very miserable season for the Spurs fans. It wasn't until I totted them up myself that I'd realised that I'd basically given Spurs 3 points, and I'm like, really? And I went back through them, and I thought, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my choices. I had them to be a lot closer, both Forest and Spurs together. Not realising that Forest's form again is a little bit all over the place, but I just don't see West Spurs get any more points. Really, I think they're going to really struggle. And obviously, the teams that are below them, Wolves picking up a few bits of momentum as well. They might even catch up to them. They might make it really, really, really uncomfortable for them, and maybe even leapfrog them. I know it's a big ask, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, but everyone thought Wolves will go the remainder of the season by picking up a win, and obviously the pressure of being relegated comes off your shoulders after a period of time, and you can play with freedom, and you've got players playing for their next move essentially in the summer where they're going to go and play next year. So it's very possible them and Burnley could just move up a spot, and then someone else could just drop like a rock below them. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, Smarty. So you got Spurs to go down. You and Dara are in the same bracket there. The process has been complete. This is an interesting social experiment at this stage on its own. So all of a sudden, the Leeds fans have become the most optimistic fans, and this is the most optimistic Leeds fan.
Hold on. Don't all of a sudden me. I've been doing this.
No one's
from
shocked
the
at this.
start.
Yeah, no one is even shocked.
This is who I am.
Yeah, well, you definitely are the most optimistic Leeds fan. You've predicted Leeds will pick up 13 points between now and the end of the season, not losing any games in the process. Hell of a run to finish. Almost the Bielsa season we went on that run. Yeah, the first season back. Nottingham Forest, you predicted would pick up a massive 3 points between now and the end of the season. You have predicted that Tottenham Hotspur will pick up an even bigger 2 points between now and the end of the season. And you've predicted West Ham United to pick up 7 additional points between now and the end of the year. So your final day prediction will be, like everybody else, Leeds United will be comfortably away from the relegation zone. It will get tighter by everyone's predictions after the next round of games, but then we'll start to open up. There's the accordion effect. But you have Leeds finishing on 46 points, followed just behind Leeds on 36 points, so a 10-point gap with West Ham United.
Then I would like to know it's not necessarily a 10-point gap, because I'm also going to say that Palace won't get a single point before the end of the season and will overtake them.
That's
why not?
Possibly true as well. That is very true. But you got West Ham on 36 points, right behind them on 35 points, Nottingham Forest, and Tottenham Hotspur to go down on 32 points, which means you are the second person. Yeah. The second person to predict that Spurs will get relegated this year. Actually, you're not. You're the third.
Ooh.
You, Smarty, and Dara from Leeds. That.
I think if anyone looks at Spurs and thinks they're in anything but a death spiral at this point, it's obviously all of what I've just said is null and void in the event that we don't win at Old Trafford. Oh, sorry, if don't draw at Old Trafford. In that case, I rescind everything that I just said. But as is, I think they are in a bit of a spiral, and I don't see them having a way out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Right, you can check out Joe Blackburn's channel, and his Instagram details are all down below. His X handle is over there on his name tag as well. You can follow Joe on his YouTube channel. You can check Joe out every match day over on bigup.com with me on the Leeds View over on Big Up. So our colour commentator, Joe, who pops in before and at halftime in all of our matches as well, sometimes helps out with videos. But there we go. So you can check out Joe on all of the details down below. Joe, thanks for joining me. Anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, we're going to be incredibly safe, and we will win the FA Cup as well. Why not?
Again, I haven't done mine yet. I'm deliberately not trying to predict so I can do it on the pod with the lads pure and, without having done homework on this and rechecked it. So I've stayed away from it. But there are similarities here because I've said all season, I think 42 points is going to be needed this year. Now, I have a tweet for a guy who called me out for saying that I was delusional to think that 42 points would be needed. I've got receipts, mate. I've got receipts. I think it'll be 42 points. We'll keep Leeds safe. And I've said the same, and you have us on 42 points, so that adds up in my logic. So I'm comfortable enough with that. But yeah, it's been interesting. Ollie, we'll see how it pans out, folks. You can check out Ollie's details down below in the description. Go give him a follow on his channel as well. Ollie, anything you want to leave us with?
Oh, mate, I just need to have a lie down. I'm not feeling good about doing all that. It was, there's nothing I can leave you with. I need to leave right now. Just think about my decisions.
Cheers, Ollie. Thanks. Go follow him on his channels, folks. You're on your own at the moment, two of you, but again, everyone thinks Leeds are going to be safe. Would love everyone's thoughts in the comments on this as well. Smarty, anything you want to leave us with before we wrap it up?
No, I think, like you say, unanimously, relatively unanimously throughout the pod channels, etc., we're all quietly confident, I think. And I think if that, it definitely spreads into the stadium, etc., and the fans will get behind the lads. So, yeah. Let's try and enjoy this as much as we can. I mean, I know it's a very, very stressful time this season, but, I think we'll be okay. Keep the faith, everyone.
Ask me after how I feel about this after Burnley game, and then we'll see if we're enjoying it at that
drowning
point.
our sorrows in the peacock, will we? Together.
I'm hoping to be at that game as well. So yeah, we will be banging our head off the wall going, why do we do this to ourselves? But yeah, we'll see how we go. Folks, you can check out Smarty's social details down below in the description along with everybody else's. You can also follow him at Orta No Better Podcast, which is a cracking podcast with the lads a couple of times a week. So you can go and check them out on YouTube as well. That's the link down below. Smarty, thanks very much for joining me. Appreciate you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.